like a drummer. Now, even though Keith uses the open G tuning primarily for rhythm guitar parts, oftentimes he'll play solos using the tuning as well. And for the most part, when you're playing on the D, G, and B string, all those riffs are going to be the same as when you're in standard tuning. But one of the cool things is having the high E string tuned down a whole step. You get the sound of a fifth and a flat seventh by barring across the top two strings. So if you were soloing in the key of G, barring across those top two strings, there's the fifth and the flat seventh. And then your typical type of guitar licks, normally it would sound like, if that note would be there. With the string tuned down, you get licks that you couldn't get otherwise. So here's an example of soloing using the open G tuning. So in the first example, I alternated between barring across the top two strings and barring across the G and B and doing these half-step bends in a very Chuck Berry kind of a way. So that lick came in on the upbeat of beat 1, 1. And because the bottom two strings are tuned down a whole step, you got to move 2 frets higher to play the correct notes. And then in the second lick, I play the notes individually. And I play a lick that you could play in standard tuning, but it would be uncomfortable. And it's really easy to do in this tuning. And it's a cool sound. And then I work in that slide up, double stop. And it's a great sound, a nice way to use open G for soloing. All right, now let's take a look at the guitar playing on the classic Stones song, Tumblin' Dice, which is transcribed in this issue. Keith uses an open G tuning for the song, but he capos at the 4th fret. So we're going to put a capo on, and you also hear Keith use the same tuning and capo placement for Happy. Both songs come from the classic Exile on Main Street album. All right, on the song's intro, we begin by sliding up from the 2nd fret, meaning 2 frets higher than the capo position, to the 4th fret on the G string, and then we're 1 fret lower on the B string, so that goes from 1st to 3rd. But the cool thing is you're also sounding the open 4th and open 1st string. And then you pull off. So that ringing sound is essential to make it sound like the record. Then we're going to hammer on 2 frets higher on the D string. And then slide up from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret on the 5th string, come back, and go back to our root position, open chord. Now with the capo in this position, this sounds a B major chord. And then we move into the classic Keith technique of going from that shape to that shape against the pumping root note. With this note slightly palm muted, and you allow the other strings to ring. Essential to the technique